Hello and welcome to Wisdom and Wealth, a channel dedicated to helping those of us over 40 navigate the challenges of life with wisdom and practical tools. Have you ever felt completely overcome by anxiety, as though it's taken you prisoner in an endless cycle of worry and fear? What if I could share with you an ancient wisdom that has the power to set you free from this cycle, offering a real path to lasting peace and contentment? In the next few minutes, you'll discover a deep teaching from the Buddha, a teaching that has guided countless individuals toward tranquility, helping them to quiet their restless minds and find solid ground. Stay with me, because by the time we've finished this exploration together, you'll have a transformative tool that can change your relationship with anxiety, turning it from a controlling force into a fleeting shadow of the past. Anxiety is an emotion that permeates so much of our lives today. It seeps into the cracks of daily life, often without us even noticing it, until it has tightened its grip. If you like what you hear, please be sure to like or subscribe to the Buddhist Doctrine channel for more content just like this. It shows itself in the tension we carry in our shoulders, the racing thoughts that keep us awake at night, that lingering dread that seems to have no clear source. At work, it whispers to us with fears of failure or not being good enough. In our relationships, it plants seeds of doubt and overthinking. Even in moments that should be filled with joy and relaxation, anxiety whispers, clouding our ability to be fully present and enjoy the moment. It's a human experience that we all share, cutting across cultures and lifestyles. Yet, it often feels intensely personal, like a burden we carry alone and in secret. But what if there's another way to live? For over 2,500 years, the teachings of the Buddha have illuminated a path through suffering, offering not just relief, but true and lasting transformation. These aren't just abstract philosophies that belong in monasteries or ancient texts. They are practical tools designed for everyday life. They offer insights into the nature of the mind and equip us to face emotional turmoil with clarity and compassion. Whether anxiety is a constant companion or an unwelcome guest that shows up during times of high stress, the Buddhist path offers a perspective that can fundamentally shift your relationship with it. In this journey, I'll guide you through a Buddhist approach that redefines how we understand and respond to anxiety. Practices like mindfulness, meditation, and loving-kindness aren't just soothing rituals. They are disciplines that build mental resilience and self-awareness. By observing your thoughts without judging them, anchoring yourself in the present moment, and cultivating inner stillness, you can begin to untangle the web of fears that fuel anxiety. This approach doesn't promise to completely eliminate worry. After all, some level of concern is a natural and even helpful part of the human experience. But it does teach you how to live alongside it without letting it control your mind. True peace isn't about silencing every anxious thought. It's about recognizing those thoughts and choosing not to let them dictate your actions or your mood. If you like what you hear, please be sure to like or subscribe to the Buddhist Doctrine channel for more content just like this. The power to make that choice lies within you. In the sections ahead, you'll discover how Buddhist wisdom can help you unlock that power, guiding you to turn anxiety from a source of suffering into a doorway to deeper self-understanding and serenity. If this path resonates with you, consider exploring meditation groups, mindfulness apps, or teachings from Buddhist masters. These resources can provide ongoing support as you walk this path. Now, let's dive deeper into the root of anxiety from a Buddhist perspective and see how that understanding can lead to lasting inner peace. According to Buddhism, the root of anxiety, and indeed all forms of suffering, can be traced back to our attachments. These attachments extend far beyond just material possessions. We cling to relationships, to our identities, to our routines, our ambitions, and our expectations. We even attach ourselves to specific outcomes or versions of reality that we believe should unfold. This mental grip creates tension and unrest, especially when what we're holding onto is threatened, lost, or fails to live up to our ideals. As a result, we live in a constant state of anticipation or fear, worrying about losing what we value, failing to achieve what we desire, or having to face what we desperately want to avoid. The Buddha addressed this dynamic in his profound teaching of the Four Noble Truths, which state that suffering has a cause, but, more importantly, it also has an end. This insight changes the whole story. Anxiety isn't something inflicted on us by the outside world, but rather an internal reaction shaped by how our minds interpret and respond to uncertainty. At the heart of this cycle lies what the Buddha termed tanha, often translated as craving, thirst, or grasping. This craving manifests as an insatiable longing for pleasure, security, or control. It drives us to chase after what we believe will complete us, whether it's wealth, love, recognition, or peace, while at the same time we resist or reject anything that causes discomfort or distress. Yet, the world, by its very nature, is unstable and ever-changing. No matter how hard we try, we can't guarantee outcomes or preserve the things we hold dear forever. This fundamental mismatch between our cravings and the impermanent nature of life leads to a cycle of disappointment, frustration, and anxiety. Even when we do achieve what we seek, the joy is often short-lived, followed by the fear of losing it. If you like what you hear, please be sure to like or subscribe to the Buddhist Doctrine channel for more content just like this. One of the most liberating concepts in Buddhist thought is anicca, or impermanence. Everything we experience, objects, people, emotions, sensations, and thoughts, is in constant flux. Despite this truth, the human mind resists change. We strive to freeze moments of happiness, extend pleasurable experiences, and prevent anything painful or uncomfortable. This resistance is at the core of our suffering. We are not anxious simply because life changes, but because we resist those changes. The practice of recognizing and accepting impermanence allows us to soften our attachments and live with greater ease. It doesn't mean becoming detached or indifferent. Rather, non-attachment means engaging fully with life while releasing the compulsion to control it. To live with non-attachment is to appreciate without clinging, to care without fearing loss, and to participate in life without being enslaved by outcome-based thinking. This mindset frees us from the exhausting chase for permanence in an impermanent world. It opens the door to equanimity, a calm, balanced state of mind even amidst life's uncertainties. In this light, the Buddhist path is not a withdrawal from the world, but an invitation to engage more deeply and skillfully with it, liberated from the anxiety that so often clouds our experience, transforming anxiety through Buddhist teachings. One of the most liberating insights offered by Buddhism is the realization that anxiety is not an external force acting upon us, but a manifestation of our own mental patterns. It isn't something imposed by the outside world, but rather something that arises from how we interpret, react to, and resist the natural flow of life. The Buddha taught that the mind holds both the seeds of our suffering and the potential for our liberation. This dual capacity means that by transforming the way we relate to our thoughts, emotions, and experiences, we can fundamentally reshape our relationship with anxiety. It's not about eliminating anxiety altogether, but learning to meet it with awareness, wisdom, and compassion. A cornerstone of this transformation is the practice of non-attachment. Often misunderstood, non-attachment is not about withdrawing from life, suppressing feelings, or becoming emotionally numb. Instead, it's a conscious and compassionate approach that helps us release the compulsion to control, possess, or cling to people, objects, and outcomes. It invites us to engage deeply with life while allowing things to be as they are. This gentle but powerful practice teaches us that we can love without grasping, care without fearing loss, and strive without being overwhelmed by results. In the context of anxiety, non-attachment allows us to feel what we feel without being ruled by it. When anxiety surfaces, non-attachment encourages a shift from reaction to observation. Rather than resisting the feeling, we learn to sit with it, breathe into it, and view it as a temporary visitor rather than a permanent state. This is where mindfulness becomes a vital tool. By observing anxious thoughts without judgment, we begin to recognize their impermanence. If you like what you hear, please be sure to like or subscribe to the Buddhist Doctrine channel for more content just like this. They rise, pass through the mind, and fade away, just like clouds drifting across a vast sky. The key is to avoid identifying with the anxiety. You are not your fear. You are the awareness that sees it. This change in perspective empowers you to respond rather than react, to hold space for discomfort without letting it dominate your reality. Revisiting the Buddhist concept of tanha, or craving, helps illuminate the roots of this inner turmoil. Much of our anxiety stems from an insatiable desire for certainty, control, and comfort. We want to ensure success, maintain relationships, preserve our health, and predict the future. But the truth of life is that it's inherently uncertain. When we tie our peace of mind to things staying the same or turning out a certain way, we set ourselves up for chronic stress and fear. For instance, you might ruminate over a looming deadline, fearing failure and rejection, or obsess over whether a loved one will stay or leave. These fears are not inherently irrational. They're human. But they gain power over us when we believe our well-being depends on controlling outcomes we cannot fully command. The Buddha's wisdom gently dismantles this illusion by teaching impermanence and non-judgmental awareness. When we accept that everything changes, we loosen our grip and begin to trust the unfolding of life. Anxiety then becomes not a battle to win but a signal to pause, breathe, and reconnect with the present moment. We begin to see each anxious thought as just one wave in the ocean of our consciousness, temporary, shifting, and ultimately harmless if we don't cling to it. Practices such as meditation, mindful breathing, and compassionate inquiry help anchor us in this deeper truth. They foster a relationship with the self that is spacious and kind. Over time, we develop an inner stability that doesn't rely on external circumstances to remain peaceful. This is the heart of the Buddhist path, cultivating a mind that can remain calm even amidst the chaos, not because life is easy, but because you've changed how you meet it. If you're drawn to this journey, consider integrating Buddhist teachings into your daily life through guided meditations, Dharma talks, or retreats. These tools can serve as steady companions on your path to transforming anxiety, not by fighting it, but by understanding and softening its grip. One of the most powerful and accessible ways to integrate Buddhist teachings into daily life is through mindfulness meditation. This practice helps anchor your awareness in the present moment, which is where peace resides. Anxiety, by its very nature, draws your attention into imagined futures or replayed pasts. It thrives on what-if scenarios. What if I fail? What if I lose this person? What if things go wrong? These mental projections pull you away from what's real right now. Mindfulness, on the other hand, calls you back home to the present, where anxiety loses much of its grip. At its core, mindfulness is simply the practice of paying attention intentionally and without judgment. When applied through meditation, it becomes a tool for quieting the noise of the mind and cultivating a calm, centered presence. One of the simplest and most effective ways to begin is by focusing on your breath. Conscious breathing serves as a mental anchor, a steady point of return whenever your thoughts begin to spiral. It reminds your nervous system that you are safe in this moment, grounding you amidst emotional turbulence. Here's a gentle guide to beginning a mindfulness meditation practice for anxiety relief. 1. Find a quiet space. Choose a calm environment where you won't be interrupted. This could be a quiet room in your home, a shaded spot in nature, or even a corner in your office during a break. Sit comfortably on a cushion, a chair, or even lie down if needed. What matters most is that your body feels supported and at ease. 2. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes softly. Bring your attention to your breathing. Inhale deeply through your nose, feeling your lungs and belly expand. Exhale slowly through your mouth, noticing the gentle release. With each breath, imagine settling deeper into the present moment. 3. Observe without judgment. Thoughts will arise. This is natural. Some might be anxious or uncomfortable. Rather than trying to push them away, treat them like clouds passing across a wide sky. If you like what you hear, please be sure to like or subscribe to the Buddhist Doctrine channel for more content just like this. Notice their presence. Acknowledge them gently, and let them move on without clinging or resistance. Each time you get carried away, lovingly guide your focus back to your breath. Practice self-compassion. If the anxiety feels overwhelming, Place a hand over your heart and silently say to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way." Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend in distress. This loving awareness helps soften fear and creates a safe space within you. 5. Stay present gently. Your breath is your anchor, your returning point. It's always with you no matter where you are. Use it to gently draw your attention back whenever your mind drifts. There's no need to strive for perfect stillness, just a steady willingness to return again and again to the now. This meditation isn't about erasing anxiety, but transforming how you relate to it. Over time, with regular practice, you'll find that anxious thoughts have less control over your mood and decisions. You'll begin to experience space between your thoughts and your sense of self, a space where calm, clarity, and wisdom reside. As you continue, even a few minutes a day can create noticeable shifts. Consistency is more important than duration. You might also explore guided meditations through apps or online resources, many of which offer themes specifically for managing anxiety and cultivating calm. Pairing this with other mindfulness practices like mindful walking, journaling, or mindful eating can further deepen your sense of inner peace. In embracing mindfulness, you're not escaping life's challenges. You're learning to meet them with a steadier heart and a clearer mind. It's a profound, compassionate way to live more fully, even in the face of uncertainty. While meditation is a cornerstone of the Buddhist approach to transforming anxiety, its deepest benefits are realized when the teachings extend beyond your cushion and into the rhythms of daily life. True transformation happens not only during moments of stillness but in how we navigate the ordinary challenges of living. By weaving mindfulness, compassion, and awareness into everyday actions, you begin to shift the overall tone of your life from reactive to responsive, from anxious to anchored. Here are practical, down-to-earth ways to apply Buddhist principles throughout your day. 1. Mindfulness in routine activities. You don't need to carve out large blocks of time to practice mindfulness. Some of the most powerful moments come during simple, everyday actions. Try bringing full awareness to what you're doing, whether it's brushing your teeth, preparing a meal, walking to your car, or sipping tea. Feel the texture of the object in your hand. Notice the sensations in your body. Listen to the sounds around you. These small acts of presence help pull your attention out of anxious thought loops and root you in the reality of the now. This grounding effect reduces mental clutter and creates moments of peace throughout your day. 2. Embrace impermanence. Life is always changing, and though this truth can be unsettling, it's also deeply liberating. When anxiety flares up, remind yourself, this too shall pass. No feeling lasts forever, not joy, not sorrow, not fear. This perspective can be incredibly soothing in moments of high stress. If you're stuck in traffic, facing a difficult conversation, or dealing with uncertainty, mentally repeat the truth of impermanence. It doesn't erase discomfort, but it helps loosen your resistance, softening the intensity of anxious thoughts. 3. Cultivate self-compassion. Anxiety can trigger harsh self-talk. "Why can't I just calm down?" or "I'm being ridiculous." These internal judgments only add to your suffering. Instead, meet your anxiety with the same warmth you'd extend to a close friend. Acknowledge your feelings without shame. Say to yourself, "It's okay to feel this way. I'm doing the best I can." This gentle inner dialogue reduces the tension between you and your emotions, making space for healing and self-acceptance. 4. Create a supportive environment. Your surroundings can influence your mental state more than you might realize. If you like what you hear, please be sure to like or subscribe to the Buddhist Doctrine channel for more content just like this. Designate a small area in your home as a sanctuary for meditation, journaling, or quiet reflection. This doesn't require elaborate decor, just a comfortable seat, a candle, a plant, or an inspiring image. Creating this space signals to your mind that peace is available and intentional. Additionally, spending time in nature, whether it's a walk in the park, tending to a garden, or simply sitting under the sky, can restore a sense of perspective and inner calm. Nature reflects the Buddhist truths of impermanence, interconnection, and presence. 5. Practice gratitude and letting go. At the end of each day, reflect on what you're grateful for. This simple habit trains the mind to notice what's working rather than fixating on what's missing or uncertain. You can also use this time to consciously let go of worries. Imagine placing your anxious thoughts into a river and watching them drift away. This symbolic act of release helps the nervous system relax and prepares you for a more restful night. By applying these teachings in your daily life, anxiety no longer becomes something you simply manage. It becomes an opportunity for growth, insight, and greater inner freedom. Small shifts in awareness practiced consistently can lead to profound changes over time. You don't have to overhaul your life to feel better. You just need to meet each moment with a little more presence, kindness, and trust. Anxiety is an undeniable part of the human experience. It arises in moments of uncertainty, challenge, and change. But while it may visit you, it doesn't have to define you. Buddhism offers a profound yet accessible path to transform your relationship with anxiety. Rooted in mindfulness, non-attachment, compassion, and an understanding of impermanence, these teachings guide you not toward escaping discomfort, but toward finding peace within it. They show us that while we can't always change the world around us, we can change how we meet it. The transformation begins with awareness, a simple breath, a moment of stillness, a pause in the middle of chaos. Start small. Perhaps you take just 5 minutes each morning to sit quietly and breathe. Maybe you bring mindful attention to your morning routine or offer yourself a kind thought during a stressful moment. These gentle practices may seem modest, but over time they build a powerful inner foundation. Each mindful breath is a brick in the temple of your well-being. As your practice deepens, you'll notice a shift. Life's challenges don't disappear, but your capacity to respond with calm and clarity expands. By consistently applying these teachings, you're doing more than just managing anxiety. You're cultivating a new way of being. You begin to live with more grace and less grasping, more presence, and less pressure. Anxiety becomes less of a force that controls you and more of a messenger, reminding you to return to yourself, to breathe, to soften. Even when anxious thoughts arise, as they inevitably will, you'll no longer feel overwhelmed or helpless. Instead, you'll recognize them for what they are, temporary ripples in the vast ocean of your awareness. This path is not about perfection or instant results. It's about progress. Healing and inner peace come not from dramatic change, but from steady commitment. Some days will feel easier than others. Some moments will test your resolve. But every breath taken in mindfulness, every act of compassion toward yourself, brings you one step closer to true serenity. Thank you for embarking on this journey toward inner peace. Whether this is your first step or a deepening of an existing practice, know that you're not alone. Countless others walk this path beside you across the globe and throughout history. If these teachings resonate with you, consider exploring further. Read more about Buddhist wisdom, join a meditation group, or simply share your reflections with others. How have these practices touched your life? What has changed in the way you relate to your mind? Transformation is a journey, not a destination. Keep practicing. Stay present and trust in the process. In every breath, you have the opportunity to return home to yourself. Within you lies the calm you seek, not in the absence of struggle, but in the steady courage to meet it with awareness and love. Let that be your path forward.